Hello and welcome back to another edition of Pinoyathletics Track Talk. It's been a long 2-3 weeks. We haven't updated the athletic community with our updates. We've just taken a bit of a break, just focused on the riding and on the coaching and other things. So without further ado, there's obviously been quite a large amount of news and other things that have piled up the last couple of weeks. Finding with COVID in a week, there really wasn't too much to report in, but after 2 or 3 weeks, there's now quite a lot of new information to hand out. So I'll just post what we're going to discuss today. So, yep. Firstly, welcome to Pinoyathletics Track Talk Tuesday on the 29th of September 2020. Just trying to get that. Okay, cool. So it takes now. Needs to be get that on full screen. Try to fix this up. Okay, there, now it's in full screen. Okay, so yeah, Pinoyathletics Track Talk Tuesdays. We now have 8 people viewing in. I'm just going to slide through. Okay, so yeah, we have now got a double report on our stats with the latest statistics for the month of September with the website. Over 30,000 followers on the Facebook page. We breached the mark. Over 30,000 monthly visitors. New record surpasses the 28,756 to the website from March 2019 with, and as of today, 37,064. So I don't think by this month we'll quite hit the 40,000 visitors in a month to the website, but it seems to be heading that way. We'll probably just miss out on that. But yeah, we'd just like to thank all our readers for continuously visiting the site and reading our updates and having a good read of our articles, and obviously on our page with the videos and the open conversations that we have engaged on the page. So because of that, we have now invoked BARONG Track Talk. Achievement has now been unlocked. Unfortunately, Ernell is working at the moment, so I have fulfilled the promise that if we reach 30,000, I have a barong on to mark this occasion. Now, okay, so moving along, I'll just have a quick look at our views. Okay, moving along to the news. Okay, so moving along to the first piece of news that we have here. share screen seems to have. Okay, so moving on to the news, the main piece of news we have. 11-year-old Longo Filipino Australian girl sets the world age grade record for 5,000 meters. 11-year-old Mia Galugan has broken the world age grade record for the 5K with 17:41:03. The previous mark was set 43 years ago by American Kathy Cannon with a time of 17:59. Mia's mother, Annabelle Clavel, hails from Otten, Iloilo. Her paternal grandfather is Colonel Robert Galugan, who represented the Philippines in the 1962 Asian Games. Now, contrary to the Iloilo News' report that Robert Galugan in the 1962 Asian Games took it home a bronze and a silver, as per the official results provided by the Association of Track and Field Statisticians in 1962, Robert Galugan was fourth in the 4x400 meter final and sixth in the 400 meter final in 1962, which is still quite outstanding achievements to be an Asian Games finalist. So this is Mia's paternal grandfather that I just referred to just then. While it is faster than the SEA Games bronze mark of the top Filipino 5,000 meter runner, JOIDA GAGNAO from the Far Eastern University, who secured the bronze at the last SEA Games of 17:52:16. It's faster than any woman athlete currently in the UAAP in the 5,000 meters. So it's ranked first, with maybe the exception of the marathoners who really haven't ran any 5,000 meters at this point. So minimal age for SEA Games is 15. Yeah, so I'll just play the video that I have. Okay. Yeah, I'll just play that video. Okay, so bringing up some more stats on this performance. Okay, so yeah, with the SEA Games 5,000 meter results, looking at SEA Games 5,000 meter results from last year, Vietnam first and second, 16:45, 16:52. JOIDA GAGNAO of the Philippines and 17:52 PB for third. Now, looking at the UAAP, so these are the results of the 2018 UAAP in December. Now, as noted, there has not been a UAAP for all of 2019 and most of 2020. So these results are from nearly 2 years ago. Of course, GAGNAO with 18:44 winning the last UAAP improved her time at the SEA Games to a new personal best of 17:52. So these are the top 8 results from the last women's UAAP as comparison. Now, turn to the next slide. Okay, so coming in 2021, the Mindanao Blue Knights Track League in partnership with Pinoyathletics. Of course, we are not going into too much details at this point due to the COVID, so we can't give exact dates at this time. For more information and updates, please visit the below link, pinoyathletics.info/2021 Mindanao Blue Knights Track League. This competition has been going for 6-7 years, and with it, yep. So it's operating for about 6 or 7 years, about the same duration as the operation time of Pinoyathletics, which also began about 6, 7, 8 years ago. It's the longest running track and field league in Mindanao, with legs in previous years held in Tubod, Coronado, Tagum, and Davao City. Once all the details are cleared, we can start and release more details to the athletic community, how to register, how to enter, dates and venues. If anyone's interested in helping with the Mindanao Track League in any capacity, for further inquiries, please email ernal.avara@gmail.com or pinoyathletics@gmail.com. As for now, we haven't committed on any dates for this meet because we're waiting for COVID situation to clear up first. But as soon as we have updates on that, we will disseminate that information. Okay. Yep. So this is just my thoughts in regards to dealing with the situation at the moment. Characterize people by their actions, and you will never be fooled by their words. Okay. The next thing is, okay, so training in different situations during the COVID. Obviously, these are very challenging times for coaches, having to do things online, and also not just that, the adaptability, like having to no longer, just have 30, 40, 50 people sort of training together at a track in the same situation. Everyone is at their own house in their own province, doing their own thing with their own set of available training facilities or lack of training facilities, however we decide to look at it. So some things to consider, of course, is the age of the athlete. If the athlete's, if the athlete's minor, under 21, then obviously can't go inside, outside in some cases. Does the province have GCQ, MECQ, MGCQ, or less than MGCQ restrictions in place? What are the guidelines? What are the rules in regards to training and that sort of thing? If the athletes are minors, do they have permission? Has the parent given permission to the athlete and the coach to allow them to train outside? Do they have access to a track oval? If not, do they have access to gym equipment? If not, do they have access to a dirt oval, access to a grass field, access to road? Or do they have to, do they have none of those and they have to do home workouts? How much space do they have to train? you know, what equipment do they have available? You know, do they have a stopwatch? Do they have, you know, because like they're not training with a coach there, so they're obviously having to fill some of the role that their coach is usually doing as well. Do they have a stopwatch? Do they have spikes? You know, do they have long spikes if they're training on the grass? Do they have starting blocks? Do they have throwing equipment? You know, like a multitude of different scenarios for different situations, which means that just about every athlete that a coach will be dealing with almost has to have an individualized program rather than a group program for each athlete, because each athlete has a different training situation. So some athletes might have a track oval, some athletes might need to train on a road, some athletes might have to do home workouts, and as per their event, they're going to have different workouts because they don't have the same things available. I mean, it's no use giving an athlete, you know, like 4 times 400 if they're training at home, or if they're training, you know, on a field which is only 10 meters long. So, you know, workouts have to be modified depending on the situation and, you know, the available venues for the athlete. So more on transitioning back into normal training with a special guest at some point. Now, I'm just going to show a video of some of the athletes I coach training doing a step over cone drill. So yeah, so like in regards to COVID, yeah, we have good days and we have bad days. You know, like you've got to get through the bad days to get to the good days with training. Obviously, this dude's training in the rain, and I had a good article the other day about, you know, like athletes finding ways to train even in tough testing times. They're still finding ways to modify training if need be. All right, so this is a sample of what I mean by individualized training. So these are athletes I'm coaching online, obviously for boys and men's programs for sprints and middle. This is a template for this week. So as you can see, a variety of different programs. I mean, all these athletes here, except for one, have access to a track or a dirt track. The one in the middle is just training on roads, so obviously he's been given much shorter distances because we haven't got like a lot of space to do longer sort of stuff. So he's been given shorter distances, and obviously body circuits and workouts because he has no access to weights equipment. So like athletes who have access to weights equipment have been given weights workouts, whereas athletes who have no access to weights equipment have been given body circuit workouts. Obviously, I've incorporated plyos, med ball, step over drills, short sprints, speed endurance ins and outs into these workouts to give a bit of variety into the actual workouts themselves. Moving on to the next, which is the girls group, which is only have 3 in the group at the moment for sprints and middle. Obviously, 2 of them are only able to, not able to really go out and have to do home workouts, whereas the 3rd one can work out on the track. So she's been given some track workouts there. The 2 that are being reduced to home workouts at the moment, more on drills, weights, and some flexibility stuff for that week, which is all right because I mean they were able to train outside, on the track or like on the road, but they really sort of needed a bit of a break week anyway. So I sort of you know, adapted the workouts for what the situation is. Okay, so yeah, this is an evaluation of a test that I did 2 weeks ago with the Filam athlete I'm working with from Las Vegas. You know, he ran a 60 and 80 and a 120. He ran 7.6 with 60, 9.9 for the 80, and 39 for the 120. The other week we did 50. We did a 50, a 150, and a 300, and this has shown a improvement on those times. His 9.9 for the 80 converts to 12.19 on grass, or 11.94 electronic on the track for the 100. His current PB is 12.4. So you know, there's been marketable improvement there. Some of the things that I've observed in the videos is at some stage we need to look at fixing arm movements, feedback on the cone drill, try not to lean back too much, bit of bending in the back, should be slight forward lean. Actually, I'll play the video, that might actually clear this up a bit, because I'm sort of just ranting here. I need to actually play the video. Okay. So yeah, these are the things I observed. For example, feedback on the cone drill, try not to lean forward too much with bending at the back, should be a slight forward lean. Need to work on getting the hands up higher in the swing, try and relax more. Smile is too tense, 60, 80, 120 pops up quite abruptly out of the drive phase, needs to prolong it. Running quite upright, needs a slight forward tilt. Overall, it was a much better effort than 2 weeks ago when he didn't sleep properly and did heavy weight, so it was flat times of 6.5 and 81 for 50 and 150 on the track. So yeah, so what I'm basically saying is a little progress each day adds up to big results. So that's why it's important at this point with athletes, even during the COVID, you know, like not to completely shove the brakes on training, because obviously they're going to come back and they're going to be pretty flat at zero if they're not getting any fitness done at all. I mean, if athletes are staying home and playing Mobile Legends, they're probably going to come back and, you know, be quite far behind where they were before this pandemic started. Okay, so stuff we've been going over with the group. So some stuff I've been going over with the group was, this is stuff I've covered before with example butt kicks. So in Exhibit A, the foot is coming directly underneath the butt, whereas in B, the positioning is curling back. So these are two examples. Next. Okay. So this was in regards to running pain. So running pain is not from running, it is from how we interact with the ground. So differences in posture. So obviously this is all covered in Bud Winter's book about sprints. Posture, out of balance, knee and joint pain, heel strike, overstriding, compact arms, balance forward, high cadence, proper foot strike. Okay, so running on the balls of the foot versus running flat-footed, more pressure on the joints, obviously in the left-hand example. On the right-hand example, more extension and less ground contact time. Okay, so there's an example of some bad running mechanics. Braking action, heel landing flat, not on ball of foot, foot landing too far in front of hips, creating an overstride. Leg taking too long to recover, and backstride mechanics. Also note in picture 2, the foot is kicking up in the air. Back leg should be tucking under the butt to counterbalance a front leg moving too far forward. Too much time spent in the air to complete strides. In my experience, the stop of running from error usually leads to a pretty bad hamstring strain within a few months due to the added strain of stretching the leg forward. Okay, so these are some examples of lifts in the gym. Front squats, lunges, Romanian deadlifts, curls, hip thrusts, extensions. Actually, I was doing some hip thrusts the other day. I haven't done them in quite a while, like quite a long time actually. They felt okay, but obviously I can't lift as much as what's on that bar. Obviously I'm doing curls a lot, extensions we don't have in the gym. I do lunges, front squats I should be doing more of. Romanian, I'm doing just standard deadlifts at the moment. Okay, so we have now updated our information on the two SEA Games decathlon multi-event champions, Sarah DeKinnon and Iris Toledo. You can check the profile updates on Pinoyathletics.info. Videos were kindly provided by our good buddy, the Talking Chinoy. They're very good, very long videos and they're up on his YouTube channel, Talking Chinoy. He makes some great videos, great commentary, great insights on athletics. Mainly looks at long distance runners, but also has made some very good videos on the last SEA Games champions. Okay, now the big question is, with PTAFA announcing that their National Open will be held in the first week of December, which is just 9 weeks away, where is it going to be held? Are they going to have it at New Clark City? Are they going to have it at Ilagan, Cavite, Laguna, or Pasig? So we're waiting, to find out where the PTAFA will eventually decide to hold their national championships. Where will it be? It's in the next 9 weeks. Okay. And that's all for today. All right, so I guess that's all for today. I'll just have a quick shout out to the viewers. So special shout outs to B. Lacrozo, Kyle Quill, Zijing Lee, Arnold Romo, Nards Grincio, Baltazar Valencia Jr., Joms Peralta, Ray Chris Capaspasan, Jesse Corpus, and others. Okay, so I'm just going to check the group to see if we have any group questions. Yep. And yeah, that was a bit quicker than I expected tonight, but I will just check to see if we've got any quick questions being asked, on today's updates, and then I just need to get back to training side of things. I've been I've had a little bit of a migraine the last couple of days, so I've just been drinking like calamansi, ginger, lemon, honey and garlic mix. I've just been drinking that and not really been drinking anything else. Oh yeah, so we have some shout outs there that I didn't quite see. So we have Jericho Erosito, the actor, Hey Buddy, and Marisol Songa, good coach, Marisol Songa, good PM. Okay. So, yeah, so I apologize, I didn't see the messages sooner, but yeah, so Jericho and Marisol, just saying hi back at you. Oh, okay, we also have Angelica de Hossif tuning in. So, yep. So it's good to see, a lot of student athletes watching our telecast. Okay, cool. So I think I'll wrap it up now. We're looking at making another one of these on Thursday if we have enough materials for it. Okay. Thank you and bye for now.